This is a user manual to set up stock SIP via Ajmera ITrade 2.0 mobile application. This answers the question of how to set up a stock SIP. This is a step-by-step guide comprising of 11 steps in all, followed by a summary of steps and then a video demonstrating the same. Step 1. Find Tools. Log in to Ajmera ITrade mobile application. You will land on the Predefined tab. Here look for the Tools section right next to the Ajmera Exchange logo towards the bottom of the snapshot, highlighted by a red box. Tap that and the Tools screen will open up. Move to Step 2. Step 2. Tap Stock SIP. As soon as you tap on the Tools button as demonstrated in the previous slide, you will land on the Tools and Research section. Here, tap Stock SIP to enter your equity SIP dashboard. This is where you will be able to set up, view, start, pause and stop equity SIPs. Move on towards Step 3. Step 3. Tap the plus sign. As soon as you tap Stock SIP, you will land on your Stock SIP dashboard, which will presently be empty. Here you will see 3 tabs towards the top of the screen: Active, Pause and Expired, signifying the status of your SIPs. Towards the bottom right of the screen, you will see a plus sign. Please tap on it. Move on to Step 4. Step 4. Tap Select Stock. As soon as you tap Stock SIP, as demonstrated in the previous slide, you will land on Stock SIP Creation page. Here, look for the Select Stock tab on the top left of your screen to select the stock in which you would like to set up an SIP for. In this case, we shall set up an SIP for Reliance, as you will see in further steps. Move on to Step 5. Step 5. Type Reliance. Post tapping the Select Stock button, Universal Search opens up. Input Reliance, as demonstrated in the red highlighted box on the top left of the screen. Tap Search. You shall find Reliance as a result just below the Search tab. You are free to select the exchange of your preference, NSE or BSE. Tap on the Add button to continue setting up your SIP. Step 5 continued. You will see the selected stock populate itself in the location highlighted in red, for this instance, it being Reliance. Then you will see a toggle, which gives an option of executing your SIP on either the quantity or the amount parameter. Quantity being the number of units you would like to purchase, with every SIP amount being the amount of SIP you would like to do in the selected stock with every SIP. Please note that you will be able to select only one parameter for each SIP. Step 6. Enter quantity. After deciding what parameter you'd like to go ahead with, which in this case is quantity, move the toggle highlighted in blue toward the word quantity. Then enter the quantity that you would like to execute with every SIP, which for this instance is 10, as highlighted in red. Before the date of every SIP, you have to make sure that there is enough credit or available margin in your demat trading account with Ajmera Exchange for the SIP to get executed. Step 6 continued, or amount. If you decide to fix your SIP as per amount, then move the toggle highlighted in blue toward amount. Then enter the amount for which you would like to fix up your SIP at, which for this instance is Rs 20,000. Before the date of every SIP, you have to make sure that there is enough credit or available margin in your demat trading account with Ajmera Exchange for the SIP to get executed. Step 7. Fix frequency. After setting up your quantity or amount parameters, tap on the frequency drop-down as highlighted in red. You will see daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly as available repetition cycles for your SIP. Select the one that most suits you and your financial goals. For this instance, we have selected a monthly SIP cycle. Step 7 continued. Tap monthly. As mentioned earlier, for this instance we select a repetition of monthly SIP cycle as demonstrated in the red highlighted box. This is an important parameter as it will club all the SIP orders into a batch file which will be executed on the frequency cycle you select. This cannot be modified later unless it is paused or skipped. Step 8. Set date. After setting up the frequency of your SIP, you have to set the date of your first SIP as highlighted in blue. To set the date, tap the calendar icon highlighted in red. A calendar box will appear from where you select the date of your first SIP according to the frequency you set. The future dates of your SIPs will be determined. In case of bank holidays or weekends, the SIP will be executed on the very next trading day session. Step 9. Set duration. After fixing up the date of your first SIP, you need to fix the duration of this SIP investment. Duration refers to the tenure of how long you would like to continue with the SIP. The duration will be as per selected frequency. In this instance, since we have selected a monthly SIP of 10 shares in Reliance for 24 months starting on the 5th of April 2024, the duration will refer to the number of months this SIP will continue for. Step 10. Review your SIP. After populating all the parameters of creating your SIP, as a best practice, it is important to review your SIP. Tap the Order Summary button to review your complete SIP as demonstrated in the following slide. Step 10 continued. On tapping the Order Summary button, a Review Your SIP box will open up. This box will contain all your SIP parameters such as quantity, amount, frequency, duration, stock name and CMP, start date, end date and last traded price. If all parameters are captured correctly, you have successfully reviewed your SIP. Step 11. Tap Start SIP. As soon as you have reviewed your SIP and satisfied with all the parameters, close the Review Your SIP box and look for the Start SIP button at the bottom of your screen highlighted in red. Tap Start SIP to confirm the transaction, after which you will get a confirmation of the same as demonstrated in the next slide. Step 11 continued. After starting the SIP, you will land on the Stock SIP dashboard. Here, under Active SIP, highlighted in red, you will see the stock SIP that you have just created, which is highlighted in blue. In the top right corner of the box highlighted in blue, you will see 0%, which shows the completion of your SIP based on the duration you have selected. On tapping the blue box, you will see more actionable information as shown in the next slide. Step 11 continued. Post tapping on the blue box highlighted in the previous slide, SIP Order Details box opens up. Here, highlighted in red, are actionable buttons like Pause, Skip Next and Stop, which are pertaining to this particular SIP and are self-explanatory. Blue highlighted box shows all the historical logs pertaining to this particular SIP and all activities therein. Green highlighted box contains all relevant information pertaining to the SIP itself.